guys. Okay, so let's make sure that we have this as an announcement post. Somebody's on that, right? Okay, it's at the very top. I love it. I can't do it from my phone. Okay.
You got to figure it out.
I can do it, yeah.
All right, guys, welcome back to session 2, session dos. All right, it is going to get hot in here.
Amen.
In her.
No
We
doubt.
have our curiosity posting power hour that we are about to do. Before we get into this, though, I want to congratulate all of you guys who actually did the implementation session. Did you guys get started creating your stories? How many people got finished creating their story? Did you start your story bank? Planning out the Facebook Live? I want to hear about it in the comment section below, you guys. This is the, Estelle says, I'm hot. This is
Yes, girl. Yes.
fire. Estelle is on fire.
Let's get it.
I love it.
All right. Everybody said it's getting hot in her. I love the experience, you guys. This is cool. We feed off of it. It's Sunday. Why not? Okay. Skip says 85% complete with my story and really liking it. Almost finished with mine. Wendy says, you guys, come on. Like, this is the reason why we're doing the boot camp. Okay.
I love it.
Boot camp. All right. So you guys, here's the thing. Ooh, I like this one. Let me see. Where did I find it? Ooh, every time I click on one, it scrolls down. Trying not to be perfect, but getting something out there. I love it. Skip, that's perfect. Like, that's exactly perfect. I love it. So that's what we're supposed to be doing, guys, during this boot camp is we're supposed to be implementing. That is where the rubber meets the road. That's where we take our learned skill and we make it an action skill right away. And that's what like embeds it in. Okay. You guys, this is where the fire happens in this boot camp. So hopefully you guys are all doing this. I've done mine before, now putting pen and paper. Love this to be accountable. I love that. That's cool. So congratulations to all of you guys that are working on that, have finished it. Work in progress, and hopefully you guys are starting to schedule out your Facebook Lives, sharing your story. It's important. It's really important, and it can inspire your team to do that as well. So when you get a new person started, can you just imagine if John got all of his new people started and was like, okay, here's the 3DW launch formula, here's the spoon post that we're going to ask you to do, and oh, by the way, though, I'm going to ask you to do these, but, like, I haven't done it. Could you imagine if that was the case? Like, that would be awful, right? So it inspires our team to go out there and actually do it as well. And that's bigger than anything, right? So if you, again, like I said yesterday, you have to be doing the things that you want your team to be doing. We need to lead by example. Okay. So congratulations to all of you guys. You're totally crushing it during this boot camp. I don't want to take any more time away from this session because this session is going to be utterly, utterly impactful and powerful for you and your team. And there's nobody better than the Meltons when it comes to posting on social media, creating entertainment, creating value, being consistent, showing up all the time from their hearts and pouring themselves out into their audience, and also teaching inside of their team curiosity posting. And what is curiosity? And they're going to explain it, but basically what I've learned it to be is posting that piques people's curiosity and gets them interested in learning more about what it is that you're doing. And how many people want that? Like, let me know in the comment section, and I get better at posting on social media so that people reach out and they're excited about what it is that you're doing. I mean, we all want that. Even I want more of that. So the Mountains are going to be crushing this session, and I'm very excited for it. So I'm going to get your slides up. I'm going to get myself out of the way. so that you guys can take it over. And I'm so excited for this. You guys get ready to take notes. Oh, and by the way, we do have a printout. I mean, this printout, okay, this one printout is worth its weight in gold and more than the price of your admission to be here for the entire boot camp. And I'm not even joking, you guys. Okay, so this printout is a lot of curiosity post examples that we're going to go over. Don't ask for the slides. This is better than the slides, okay? And this is all ready for you in Unit 2, right, Nadia? Right? Cool. All right, you guys are
Yeah.
good. Okay.
We're ready.
Awesome. So we print that out for your business, and we are going to get into it.
Let's get it.
All right, let's do it. Super psyched. All right, so let's kick this off, right? Let's talk a little bit about what to do, what not to do on social media, and then we're gonna give you so many juicy examples on how to show up the right way with curiosity marketing. And I want you to look at it as this is gonna be training number 1, and then after lunch, we're gonna cycle back and put this in a bigger picture, right, of your marketing plan for your content.
Okay, and let me ask y'all, how many of you would be excited if you and your team had some really good ideas of what to post to get people to raise their hand? Like, how many of us would be excited if you could do a post on Facebook, on Instagram, on your story, whatever that is, and people are responding going, what is this? Tell me more. I'm interested, right? If you had that happening, and more importantly, you could teach your teams how to do that, what to post, how many of us would be excited? You'd be fired up, smash that heart button if that would get you jacked up and excited. Anywho, so let's get into it.
Go ahead, talk about the do's.
Okay, so the do's. Where?
Right here.
Yeah, but is it this? It's not this. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
no, it's
so one of the most important things when it comes to the do's is to consistently connect and build long-term relationships with your friends and followers, and make sure that you're understanding that some of us are going to be punished in the beginning. And here's what I mean. I heard this quote from Eric Worre years ago. We will be punished or rewarded based on the life we led, or the life we led prior to getting started in network marketing. So the key to success is to understand longevity and to think long-term, because you will be punished or rewarded based on the life you led prior to getting involved. Simply put, when I first got started in network marketing, I didn't have a lot of credibility, right? I didn't have a lot of influence over my audience. So it took some time to generate leads and build a following, but years later, I had a much better reputation. I had a better brand. People knew me as a successful network marketer, or excuse me, mortgage banker. So when I got back into network marketing, I was able to get more people involved in my business. So just understand, some of you are going to have more success right out of the gate with curiosity posts, while others may get crickets. But it's okay, because here's the good news. And Tanya talked about this. I talked about this yesterday. You might bring people to the table that have more social equity than you. They might have more influence than you. So even if you don't get the best results from this, because maybe, you know, you've been a little bit of an infomercial, you've been a little bit of a Pamela Anderson, a Spammy Stanley, you've been annoying people for too long, you might not get great responses from this, but people on your team that have a fresh, warm market, they may get a better response. So how many of us would be pretty pumped up and excited about that? Anywho, so consistently connect and build those long-term relationships with your friends and followers. Create content that will be relevant today, tomorrow, or even a month from now. All right. So think about that sometimes when you're posting publicly, not in your story.
Yeah.
A story can have content that is more time sensitive, but when you're posting publicly, just know it doesn't always do as well. It doesn't mean you can't do it.
Yeah.
You just have to be aware that this may not be all that effective because it's time sensitive, like, 24-hour discount. Some people aren't going to see that post in their newsfeed until 2 or 3 days from now. All right. Another thing too is to mix things up, use live video, watch parties, stories, text posts, text and picture posts, etc. So there's not just this like one way to do it. And a lot of this is inside of those phenomenal, beautiful PDFs.
Oh, baby, so kind. All right, let's talk a little bit about what not to do. So we've done a really good coverage on the topic. I mean, somebody call Channel 3 News in the house, right? Let's alert the elders. But you guys, what is really, really important when it comes to you doing curiosity posting the right way, it's everything in moderation.
Right.
Everything in moderation. So a goal, just like in the kitchen, maybe let us associate. When we're making a beautiful recipe, if you put too much salt in it, too much pepper, which I have been guilty of. I love the spice. I love it in my outfits. I love it in my food, and I love it on my social.
And she loves to give me a runny nose with all the pepper.
It's good for you, baby. You're cleansing immediately. Beautiful effects. But too much of it, it's gonna kind of crush the overall dish, right? So when we talk about curiosity marketing, it's really, really important that we remember the 80-20 rule and then 15-7 formula, which means that if you're gonna show up over the next 7 days and you're gonna do 15 posts, you wanna make sure that 10 of those posts have nothing to do with your business, have nothing to do with your product. You guys are gonna notice in the curiosity document that we created for you that we actually gave you 21 gorgeous ideas to show up, you know, with no commission breath. I like it.
Because commission breath stinks.
You know?
Some of y'all need a value
You
mint.
know? Yes.
Value mint.
Yes.
Right? Suck on it.
Okay. So, okay, with that being said, we're going to give you some of those ideas as well to get your creativity flowing. I definitely recommend that you have that left side of your journal reserved. Please reserve it for ideas. Because I believe during training, this is when I get like a download, right? And your energy right now is higher. And also we're going to give you all these cool ideas, all these good examples. So whatever comes to your mind, it's important that you jot it down on the left-hand side. And maybe even, you guys, here's a pro tip, okay? You create a note in your phone. So on those days when you're not inspired, like how many of us? Yes, we're doing a morning routine. We're doing a gratitude. We're doing an exercise. We're doing all the things to energetically show up. But all of us have those days when, you know, just it's not flowing. It's not. And the way that I kind of really love to prep for these occurrences, because they're gonna happen, is that you compile ideas, post things, whatever, into notes for those days that you don't feel it. Okay, so 10 posts that are fun, personal, lifestyle. 4 posts you can do a week that are nonchalant promotion of your business or your product. And then once a week, you could do what we call a power post, like a wow. Be good up to me.
Wow.
A wow post, right? So that needs to be the ratio. And then you want to mix it up with different modalities, right? We want to mix it up with different modalities.
Now, we will be giving you examples.
Yes, yes. Now let's identify, what does it mean to create curiosity some of the time, okay? Some of the time. Lack of specific information is the #1 thing that piques curiosity in people. Tell them what's going on without saying everything that's going on. And your mindset should be, if people want to know what your product or business is, they need to talk to you. So you're opening the loop publicly, and then you can close the loop inside the messenger, right? It's a preview to the movie. And then your goal is to get them to come see the movie. And that's where the ATM groups come in. There's no more curiosity, right? Once you get them to the movie theater, they can now see the full movie. They can go through the sales process. They can see all the things to make the buying decision to get started. So think of your social media marketing strategy as a movie franchise. If you tell your prospects what product you're using, what company you're with on your page, you're giving up the ending to the movie, AKA you ruin the movie. And we need to unsubscribe from the notion of ruining the movie, you guys, because here's how I see it, right? Here's how I see it, that it is a miracle in your mouth that you have. Now more than ever, people need an opportunity. People need your products, and it is your responsibility to walk them through the steps. in order for them to be ready to make that decision, right?
Right.
So do not ruin the movie. Okay.
And I just want to say this too, and I've been saying this for years now. This is why I started building a personal brand, because I realized that ultimately I don't own the company, right? You don't own your network marketing company. If someone buys directly from the company or they join someone else, how much money do you make? Approximately nothing, right? So you might love your company, but at the end of the day, you want people to buy from you. You want them to partner with you. So if they find out the name of the company and they're like, wow, that product sounds amazing, let me go Google the company, and then they find someone else's YouTube channel, they find someone else's Facebook, and they buy from that person, even though you were the first person they heard about it.
Yeah.
And it's not always intentional. Not everybody's just like sponsor shopping and intentionally trying to find the best person to buy from or enroll with. It's just some people don't know any better. It's just you were the first person that mentioned that product or that opportunity. And because it was plastered all over your wall, it was very obvious which company you were with. They were able to find out more about the company and do their own research, due diligence, and maybe even buy or join someone else without even talking to you. Once they start talking to you, then of course you can tell them the name of the company, give them more information. The only caveat to that is when you first start a new business, don't be so loose to share the name of the company with your friends and people you're connected with. You want to keep that a little close to the vest. And here's why. Because if you get people reaching out to you that are just, how many of us have nosy neighbors? Nosy family members. There's some people, they're not actually interested, but they're just nosy, right? So you sometimes have to kind of interview people a little bit. You know, if they're like, well, what is this product? And they're very direct, not even like, hey, good morning. Or, hey, I saw your post. That was really cool that you shared that. What's this new thing you're doing, right? But they're just like, what is it? And they almost, you ever get those people? How many of us get those people that are like annoyed because they're like, why can't you just say the name of the company, huh? Like they get like a freaking attitude. You know what I'm saying? Like I like messing with those people. Be like, shh, it's a secret. Don't tell the cops.
This
like,
is so good.
I like messing with people because like, is this a pyramid scheme? Like, yeah, shh, just don't say anything. Like keep it on the DL, man. I don't want to get arrested. Because to me, it's like some people are just going to act a fool, and I'm not here to dance for anybody.
Okay.
You understand? I'm not here to convince anybody. I'm not here. Like, I'm looking for people that are curious, that they want to know more. They might be actually interested after having a little back and forth, but don't dance for anybody. Don't worry about a couple of the naysayers or haters that are like, why can't you just say the name of the company? I'll respond to them sometimes and just say, because I don't own the company. I'm a distributor, and I'm not going to promote the company unless it's one-on-one conversation. If you have a question, feel free to message me directly.
So good. You guys, the big takeaway from here is that just have fun with it, right?
Absolutely.
And it's also this whole recruiting piece and attracting customers to you. It's so much like dating.
Right.
Because you remember when you first tried to approach your wife, now wife, but then?
Yes, I do.
And give a secret to success.
I was very intrigued.
But also.
I remember that nice little skirt you were wearing.
Yes.
And those hot legs.
Yes.
And that accent.
Yes. Okay. So, but the key there, right?
My
If you
turn.
want to be like hard to get to,
Right, you got to play the game.
you got to play the game, right? And you have to qualify. We talked about it
I
yesterday.
didn't tell her all these things the first time I met her.
Right.
Hello.
If you would have came up to me and
Nice
said,
legs.
hey, I'm going to be like amazing boyfriend and I'm going to treat you well. And she would have been like all
I'm
over
going to make all
me.
this money one day.
Yeah. I would have been like, oh gosh, get a life. Do you know what I mean?
Move
So
along.
yeah, so let's just remember to keep playing the game. Okay, you got it? Let us know in the comments. Smash the heart button. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about majority of the time post ideas. Majority of the time post ideas. So let's give you a couple of different examples here. You can do those really cool short, we call it text colored posts. I love the way I explained that. That is so clarity. It is not even fair. Okay, here's an example. It's a good one. Do you want to read it? Do you want to explain it? Do you want to?
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, and I want to also point this out. My brand is a network marketing leader.
Okay, thank you.
I've been doing this 18 years. Please do not think, and Tanya mentioned this, I just want to reiterate, you don't have to all of a sudden become a network marketing guru, expert, trainer, none of that to be successful.
Yeah.
You may notice those people a little more because their content is more relevant to you. But I know people that, I have this woman right now that I'm working on enrolling from Instagram, she's not a network marketing trainer. She puts out content towards fitness, diet, recipes, working out, that sort of thing. She's got 1.2 million followers. All right. So she's personally sold over the last 2 years over $2 million in nutritional supplements, skincare products, different things. That's her brand. Mine is more of an MLM person. I've been doing this a long time. So when you see this post, it's just an example of how I'm putting out a piece of content with the colored, right? A colored text, so it's short because it won't have the colored background if it's long, right? Yes. So is this MLM? Yes, of course. Why would you want to do something single level marketing? Hashtag I love leverage. And this was a post I did in January. This is probably the third or fourth time I've shared this post over the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Tip.
So when you have a post that hits, don't think to yourself, oh, that was so good. I wish I could use that again. Stop wishing. You can't. You can absolutely use the same stuff over and over and over again.
And in the next session too, we're going to give you some tips to think through how to audit and then archive your best posts, right? But also, you guys, Tanya did a beautiful job with the branding. So go ahead and drop your 5, I call them your 5 keywords or your 5 passions, 5 things that you love talking about. And then you want to think through, okay, how can I just give a little tip about my favorite thing here, but do it in a text colored post? It stands out. That's idea number 1.
Short.
Value nugget, something funny. Okay, next idea for you. Funny equals money. I love to laugh. Y'all don't judge me right now, okay? But laughter is my strategy for a 6-pack. LOL, LOL, LOL. See that? That's hilarious. That is how I think through it. It's also very good for your immune system. So I need you to think about different ideas. How can you build up your audience's immune system and 6 packs with your content? And here's like a cool question to ask yourself, right? As you live your life, as you are going through your day, as you're watching whatever you're watching, ask yourself, what is funny about this? Or just when you start to ask that, all of a sudden it appears, right? It's kind of like when you buy a car. Like when I bought my Tesla, I thought nobody had a Tesla. It was so revolutionary, And then now I see Tesla everywhere. It's like one of those things. So the next idea is for you to do live before and after.
Right.
Live before and after. And here's a really cool example here where John talks about essentially telling a snippet of his story, right? And it's a picture of him before. Baby, you was
that was prom night. I was 18 years old. Yes, I was a cigarette smoker back then, and apparently I thought I was cool. I shared a story, and basically just telling people why you do the before and after is because it's relatable. Right? People get to hear your backstory, your pain points, your struggle, what life was like before, and, what you're doing now. Some of us may not have a business before and after. Maybe it's just a mindset shift that you've had since getting involved in network marketing. Maybe you're a better spouse, a better parent, a better citizen in society. Maybe, because of the products, you can share different stories of your personal story or people within the team. And I also, you kind of mentioned funny equals money.
Yeah.
It's a little hard to read the text on the slide deck, I think, but if you just look at my daughter's facial expression of us kissing, you can see why we were saying that's a funny picture.
It's a funny picture.
Because she's like shocked. She's disturbed.
She's given us the look.
Right.
How dare you?
They say a picture tells you 1,000 words.
That's hilarious.
How dare you kiss each other?
That's correct.
So fun equals money, life before and after, short text.
I love what Dom says. She said wellness, healthy lifestyle for the family, pets. So I'm reading your guys' keywords. Debbie says yoga, plant-based eating, OMG, yes.
But I want to point something out.
Okay.
This is not curiosity posts.
No, this is just your life.
The hashtag.
Maybe majority of the time for kids.
That's what I'm trying to read. You see what she does? So anyway, this is what you post the majority of the time.
Okay, thank you.
So anyway.
Okay, great. Great. Okay. So a couple other ideas. Don't skip important milestones.
Right.
What does that mean, right? if you have an anniversary,
Right.
you're pregnant, you got a puppy,
Kids
OMG.
graduation.
If you want to get a ton of engagement, it's those milestone moments
I thought you were
that
saying
do
buy a
the
puppy.
best. No, it's true. You can
Adopt
buy
a
a
puppy.
puppy. You
Or
can
adopt.
buy a puppy. You can get pregnant.
Yeah, just go
You
ahead and get
can
pregnant.
you can post a picture of, that's true. Like we posted the one picture of our son going to the homecoming, yeah,
Yeah,
or prom thing type,
Yeah.
and it got so any one of those milestones, never skip
plus
it.
you're documenting your life.
Yeah,
Like, that's
digital
why-
library.
You know, part of the reason I post things sometimes is because I want to revisit that memory.
Yeah.
I want to go back and see that memory because I know I check my memories every day. So some things I almost want it to be like my digital not library, my digital
Footprint.
I don't know what's the
It is a
the
footprint.
diary, my digital diary. You can tell I don't have a diary. So yeah, I mean,
You have a digital one.
just you start. You,
All right, let
Facebook's
us
digital.
focus.
So Facebook can be your digital diary, and you gotta get. Nadia is so good at this. She got me into that habit. I used to be such a knucklehead, like
Yeah.
just enjoy the moment. We really take a picture everywhere we go. But she's so good at documenting all the time.
Yeah.
And right now, maybe we don't have as much to document because we can't go out to dinner, we can't leave our freaking houses. But just find ways to acknowledge
And to document
Document
different
those
corners
milestones.
of your house. I mean, there's definitely ways to go about doing it. Okay, next idea. Bring joy and family into it, especially for those of you that have younger kids.
Right.
You know, for John and I, when we started to transition from offline to online, we wanted to enroll our kids in it because we knew that we would have to sacrifice and we would have to, you know, just focus, right? We had to replace the 6-figure income. And our strategy was we need to learn a whole bunch of new skill sets. And we set some goals with the kids too. And we would, you know, document that as well as we kind of went through it.
Right.
So think of how can you take people on a journey with you, but also take your kids on the journey with you. Super cool. Okay, embrace being perfectly imperfect because perfection is boring. And also what happens too, when people tune into you, I know it's happened to me, like there's certain people that they're friends of mine, but they're so polished and they're so good at what they do. I do not plug into their content because it's almost discouraging. It's almost like I could never be that good. And you guys know how our brains operate. We really over-edify somebody else in our head and we see their skill set so clearly. But when it comes to ourselves, we just pick ourselves apart a lot of times. And so I want you to really be mindful about the energy and you know, screening in your head properly. And also remember, you can control the first thought, you can control the second, but you be you, right? Step it up, mess it up. I love it. Okay, challenge time. We're going to talk to you in the next session about TikTok. And we'll also talk to you a little bit about already about doing live video, mastering live video, maybe even doubling down, especially right now,
Right.
on your video content,
Right.
because right now people are searching for solutions. And over the next couple of years, billions more people are going to come online. They're going to need expertise. They're going to need somebody. And now this is your time. Now, another cool tip for you guys, write down this website. It's called answerthepublic.com. So for those of us that go, okay, I want to master live video, here's what you could do. Here's a little challenge you could do with yourself is figure out 10 titles of what you can do your live videos about. And then when you go to that website, here's what I really like about it is you can put your keyword in. You guys have been dropping them like it's hot. Thank you so much. I really appreciate those of you that like just take it serious and you're putting your words out there. That's beautiful because a lot of times you're going to figure out your brand by doing it. Building your brand is so much like playing a sport. You cannot do it in your head. You got to pick up the ball, you got to throw it out there, and you got to just kind of like start and then see what really works well for your audience, what works for your energy. But you're going to take your keyword and you're going to put it into the website, and then it's going to spit out all of the questions that people are asking about that specific topic. And it's a great way for you to also elevate yourself above that curse of knowledge. Like, you know how when you're really good at something, you almost take it for granted and you assume oh my gosh, you assume that everybody knows, right? But what happens is
And
you're
even if
too
they-
close to it.
But even if they know, you could be a validation for something that they thought they knew.
Okay.
You're validating it, and they're hearing you say, and they're like, okay, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just validation.
It's validation, but also it helps you think through, okay, when somebody has no idea how to get started with this particular topic, what are they searching
Exactly.
on Google? So
Right.
then you can just take that search and that could be your headline. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Super smart.
All right. Guys, listen up. For
Love
those of you that go, I cannot write fast enough, you guys are spitting fire. You're welcome. Yes. You can watch this on a replay. You can also download the document. We've referenced it a couple of times already. And inside those pages, do you see where it says 21 gorgeous value post idea? On that next page, we give you even more ideas for you
Yep.
to show up and just showcase your life, showcase your value, showcase the fun. Okay, now let's transition into, listen to me, peppering in. Can you drop the word pepper into the comments, please? We're gonna pepper in. Oh, I think I'm gonna have some extra pepper, John, in your lunch today because that is clearly on my mind. Okay, now let's transition into how do we promote a business nonchalantly? Baby, define nonchalant.
So nonchalantly is mentioning that you have a business, mentioning you use this product, casually throwing it in there, no call to action in a post. And if you have a call to action in a video, it's not geared towards, hey, hit me up if you want to learn more about my product, right? So you're just casually mentioning it so that the people watching or reading, they know that you offer something, but you're not necessarily pitching or promoting it. You're just kind of nonchalantly mentioning it. Makes sense?
Oh, I love that. Remember, you're playing the game. You're not too needy. I mean, I think when you already nonchalantly mention, it's visualize your prospects are watching you and they go, ooh, and they raise a little bit their eyebrow. And then, do you remember you now open the loop, but you're not closing the loop with, oh, reach out to me right away because it seems a little bit neat.
And again, we have an example, right? Tanya, as an example, you know, this is her giving a shout out to her new comp plan, how she was able to help her team, you know, with her volume, we're all winning, fired up more than ever. Do you see anywhere in here where it says, hit me up if you want to make money from home? If you're interested enough, it doesn't say anything about that. But you see how this creates curiosity because people that maybe want to make money online or from home are thinking, wait, what is this? What is she doing? New comp plan? It's a nonchalant way of mentioning that you're in a business and that people are winning, and it's super smart, and it's not a direct, hey, hit me up. Hey,
I love it.
you know, if you want to make some money, you know where to find me, right? Not that she would ever do that.
Oh my gosh.
And here's some other caption examples. Excited to be at my company event. Believe, sorry, I was reading it from, so can't believe there are so many people here creating success. Excited to sit down and work on my goals with my teammates. So you see how this isn't like, hey, if you want to make money, if you want to build a business, just great examples of nonchalant promotion.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, let's give you a couple of ideas on how to start a conversation, right? We already hinted on the fact that those do so well.
Yeah.
How can you be business light with your conversation starters, but you want to guide the conversation? So here's a good one. This is very time relevant right now. I'm just curious, are there any friends and family who would support our family business right now with the small order of home essentials? So think about what products does your company represent that would be a really good substitute for people that now we're all at home. So let us not go to the store. Let us stay at home safe. But now we can also support our friends.
I want to point something out. So
Yeah.
The FTC, I think it was the FTC, they did put something out to network marketing companies to not try to promote your products or opportunity using the COVID-19 language. So just kind of want to throw that out there. You don't see that in this example or the next example we're going to show you. You don't see these posts mentioning it, but just some people are just naturally going to say, hey, you know, who wants to support a small business and boost their immune right now? Or who, which is fine, but don't say boost your immune because of COVID-19. or
Okay.
who wants to get in shape
Keep
and
it
lose
out of the post.
Right. Don't mention that because they are looking for those types of posts and companies trying to use this
Yeah.
coronavirus thing to sell
Oh,
product.
good.
So I would just make sure you don't mention it, right? Just
Okay.
don't throw it into these types of
Don't
posts.
even throw it as a hashtag.
Right.
Too.
Right.
Okay, so just stay away from that language, but all of us know. So it's sort of implied, but just leave the language out. Okay, next example, check it. Why is your service, product, mission, or business needed now more than ever?
Love that. And again, this is a conversation starter,
Mhm.
right? This is a way to engage your audience. And look, we can give you 1,000 different ways to engage your audience, but it boils down to finding creative ways to ask questions. And
Yeah.
please don't copy these word for word, right? Anytime you see a post that you like, always make it your own.
Mhm.
Add some emojis, change up the wording a little bit, because if people are copying word for word,
Yeah.
number one, you'll get ghosted on social media because their algorithm can see that. And the other thing is it's plagiarism when you're literally copying
Mhm.
word for word, unless you're giving the person that you copied a shout out or you're making it very obvious that, it's a quote that someone else, right? Does this make sense?
So
Make
good.
it your own. These are just examples of conversation
that you
starters
can model.
that can lead into.
Model it.
Right.
Model it. I like that. Okay, cool. All of us could do a better job at modeling. Just when you're taking a selfie, exhale with your mouth, with the air. There's so many cool tips. Okay, next example.
Smiling with your
Smile.
eyes.
Okay, here's another one. All right, go for it, baby.
Oh man, that's funny. Who is out of work? Are you still working or working from home, homeschooling your kids? What is everyone's situation out there? How are you doing? Seriously. So again, just an example, a way to create conversation. Clearly, this is talking about working from home. So, based on some of the responses, but sometimes I ask questions because honestly, I forget about some of my friends, right? If you have hundreds of friends or thousands of friends, some of them you don't see ever interacting or engaging on anything, but then you pop a question like this, and you all of a sudden see Sally Sue, who you haven't talked to in 2 years and you went to high school with, and you're in her inbox. Sally Sue, I saw, how you doing? Thanks for, hopping on my post. I saw that you're dealing with your crazy kids, me too, or you're dealing with your crazy dogs, right? Your dogs are exhausted because you're walking them 6 times a day, right? How many of you seen that meme going around? I think I saw Julie Burke posted yesterday. It's pretty funny. Like all the dogs of the world are just exhausted right now.
Oh my God.
They're over
That's hilarious.
walking them like 6 times a day. Anyway. So have fun with it. Get creative. How many of you, this is getting your creative juices flowing?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this next example.
Okay.
This is a great curiosity post. This would not be good if you're trying to do some social distancing right now, but you can do this on Zoom, right? Everybody could get on Zoom and do a screenshot, a virtual version of this. But you see how Sarah says something super exciting is about to happen.
Ooh,
it's a secret.
So good.
Right? So
who's curious? I want to know.
What's the secret?
What is the secret? We're all we're so nosy, y'all. Can you just drop the word nosy in the comments below? Because all of us, this is why reality TV is popular. Oh my gosh, have you guys seen that show, Love is Blind? Love is Blind. I am serious. John and I were fascinated by that show on Netflix. And these are just strangers trying to find love. And we noticed, we're like, oh my gosh, what happened to so-and-so? I want to know. We're just nosy. We don't know these people from Adam, but we want to know what is going on in their lives and their love life, apparently. Okay, great. Next, shout out, also known as, you guys are going to see this in your beautiful PDF download. We call it gratitude results post. Now, this is a beautiful way to brag indirectly.
Also, I know a lot of questions are coming through. It's tough for us to train and answer questions. Okay. I see some of you helping out answering questions, and I know our team is in there as well helping. But if you stay until the end of this, if it's cool, I'll take 10 minutes and answer some of these questions because some of them are really good. It's just we want to stay on track and make sure we're buttoning this up in the next 20 minutes. We have more examples. I promise you. And some of it might be covered through the rest of the training. So here's a few examples of how you can do shout out or gratitude results posts. So recognizing your new teammates for achieving a rank, You can shout them out on their wall, right? You can zoom in on specific results that you or your customers have achieved. Like little things like you could say, want to shout out my new customer, Jessica. She's already lost 10 pounds and 10 inches in just the first couple weeks. Way to go, Sarah.
So simple.
But do you see, like, I didn't say anything about hit me up. You want to know what she's doing? You know where to find me, y'all. Like, none of that. DM me. No, you're just shouting her out, and that is it.
Yeah.
Nothing else. Look, anyone that wants to lose 10 pounds and 10 inches in 2 weeks, they're going to hit you up.
Yeah.
They're going to say, what is she doing? What is she using? Right? Are you guys getting this?
Mhm.
And you wouldn't do this too much on your public
Again,
wall.
pepper. You guys drop the
Pepper,
word pepper.
20% of the time, for those of you that are analytical, 20% of the time you do these posts. Now, where can you be more aggressive with it? In your stories.
Yes.
Right? You can do it in your stories a little more. Like I had all these awesome testimonials that I was sharing, and I even tested this out just because I knew people would say something.
Yeah.
So last night I did a post about how awesome the boot camp's been, all the amazing testimonials. It got horrible engagement. But I
newsfeed.
on my newsfeed, but I've been posting it in my stories, and I've had more responses of people saying, what's this boot camp? Tell me more. What is this? Wow, that's incredible. I'm curious of what in my story responses than on my wall. So just know that's just the way it is. Sometimes they'll blow up on your newsfeed. Other times not so much. You just play with it.
Good.
You
Love
can
it.
also make a post about your next vacation to an exotic place.
Okay, let's give you ideas.
Kind of casually mention that it's because of your business. In videos, you can do calls to action, though. We should be clear on that.
We're going to cycle back to it.
Right,
So
we'll
let's
go
cycle
back to it. But
Yeah.
anyway,
Okay, great.
I get excited.
Check out this example. Oh my gosh. I just weighed myself for the first time since September and I lost 40 pounds.
Love it.
Cool. I love this. Okay, check out this next one. Did you do it?
So Tanya says, hey, you, I share the good and the bad, right? Well then, my goodness, I'm going to share the great. I got great news twice today. So crazy. I promoted again in my business, 2 promotions this month. Want to learn more about my business or amazing products to see if there's a fit. And then she has the little hand raising emoji. Now, I will tell you, I told her I don't know if I would include the call to action in there, but it was her very first post where she was talking about her new business. So you can see she got a ton of engagement. If she keeps doing that, it'll go down. But because it was a brand new thing, and I should point this out because this is something I talk about all the time. Whenever you're brand new, you don't have to follow the 80-20 rule. Like if you're launching a new business, so most of our conversation isn't geared towards when you're in your first 30 days, right?
Yeah.
Because you're in your first 30 days for 30 days. Most of you are not in your first 30 days in your new company, but when you're in that first 30 days, you can be way more, you can actually be lopsided. You could be more promotional 80% of the time and 20% value. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But after that initial 30 days, and it's kind of like most of your audience has seen you show up with all these live videos and 3DWs and curiosity, right? Like after that 30 days, then you want to go back to this formula of less promotional. You would follow that, that 10-4-1 formula.
Yeah, 15-7.
Right, 15-7. That's very important to understand.
Okay, next, check out Veronica.
Am I supposed to be reading this one too?
Yeah,
That's a lot.
yeah.
Okay.
So
This is all inside of the PDF though.
inside you guys, and essentially what she's doing here is she's doing the gratitude results.
She's shouting out her team.
In a story format, right? So it's a nonchalant way to essentially brag on your business, brag on your team.
Brag on your team.
Take a selfie, right? Take a good picture. She's pregnant. Oh my gosh, any pregnant picture is gonna get amazing.
She does do a great job.
This is where I miss the pregnancy, ladies, right? This is where we miss the pregnancy. If you're pregnant, I would be taking more photos right now than ever.
Right.
Okay, so here's an example of you doing a shout out, but you would put that to your new teammates' wall.
So let's be very clear.
Okay,
Someone on your team did something awesome.
okay.
Maybe it's not even like a big promotion, but they just got their first promotion. Or, they're having success.
Or they got their first
Or
customer.
maybe they're like they got their first customer.
Yeah.
Maybe they're just a really awesome team player and you want to go love on them on their wall. I actually have this in my reminders where once a week I strive to give shout outs on other people's walls. So here I'm giving a shout out on Margaret's wall for rank advancing, and it's on her public profile, but it's me doing it. So I'm bragging about her. I'm shouting her out. Do you see the difference? So I could shout people out on my own wall, but I can also give shout outs on other people's walls as long as they have that. There are some people that have in their settings where you can't post on their wall. So I'll like reach out to someone and say, hey, I saw Marina Simone on here. I always have to like, hey, Marina, can you change your settings real quick so I can give a shout out? Because I want to shout her out and acknowledge something on her wall. So once a week, maybe you take 3, 4, 5 people on your team and you just choose random people just to give them shout outs for accomplishing something. Maybe they ranked up, whatever.
Okay, cool. Now let's give you a couple of examples because we hinted on this spoon post. So do you have a product that you can do the spoon idea with? Or how can you creatively, right, show up to demonstrate the benefits of the product? And I wanted to give you a couple of these examples because they're just a little bit silly, a little bit goofy.
So good, though.
It's so
like,
good.
Look at the language.
Yes.
Are you annoyed by the spoon that keeps popping up in your newsfeed? Now, you are kind of assuming that other people are seeing what you're seeing in your newsfeed. So, you know, that
but
may
I like
or may
that.
not. But
it's also assuming that it's
I
like
know.
going viral and people don't want to be FOMO.
Exactly.
Like
So-
they don't want to mess up.
So even if maybe some people haven't, they're still going to think that this must be a thing that a lot of other people have seen.
Yeah.
So you see how that's like such smart language. And she says, yep, I was too. Totally thought it was just another gimmick. So she's acknowledging what everyone else might be thinking anyway. But now, after losing 25 pounds, a few pant sizes, having better skin and helping so many others literally shrink, I'm a believer. And I like how she uses the emojis, like she has fun with it, but she doesn't say, hit me up, right? She doesn't say that. Here's another one. These are those spoon posts we're talking about. And I want to be very clear. This is what we found after trial and error of what posts did best out of all the curiosity posts. And then we defined it as a spoon post because for years, we had done so many different types of posts. I'm not saying that everyone uses this as their curiosity post, but just overall, it's been the most effective way to lead with the product and create curiosity towards getting customers.
Yeah.
So these examples, again, are in the PDF.
But see how that spoon is creatively hiding the
The
name of the
right.
company. So you want to skillfully hide that, right? Because you don't want to drive people to Google. You want to be mischievous about it.
Right.
You really do. Okay. So play with words. Again, slight reminder here that you don't want to just copy word for word. You want to model it. But we also want you to curate sort of like the best, most amazing examples. And we've been curating this content for the last 4 or 5 years. So know this is years and years of trial and error and accumulating the tippity top of stuff that's really working right now. Okay, a couple other examples for you. Check it out.
Yeah, so here's one of the ones that, you know, kind of
OMG, I
talking
did
about,
it.
right. Are you going to talk or am I? OMG, super excited. I started a new adventure. Stay tuned.
Love it.
Right now, the only thing I would have added to that is, you know, going live with all the juicy details. Going live with all the juicy details tomorrow night, later today, on Monday. What do you see? So you're letting them know you're going live. You could even say a specific time. Someone asked earlier, should we say a specific time or not? Play with it. I mean, I like not saying it, but saying that it's happening like tonight, because then people might say, well, what time, right? Or you say 8 p.m., but you don't say the time zone. So they might say what time zone. So anyway, hope that helps. There's a couple other examples here.
Yeah.
Do you believe in signs? Do you pray? I've got some exciting news, big changes coming, powered by this coffee. You're like, what coffee?
Yeah.
Stay tuned.
I love that. Powered by this.
Yeah.
When you use that word this,
Yeah.
people go, wait, what is this? Yeah. What does that mean?
Here's the other thing. I just want to mention one other thing too. You might get people that reach out to you in your inbox or in the comments, like, tell me, I want to know now.
Oh,
They want to know before you go live.
cool.
They want to know before the stay tuned. No, I want to know now. Sometimes they think you're pregnant. They think you're getting hitched. They think they don't know. They're like dying
Because
to
people
know.
are noisy.
Right.
Nosy.
Noisy.
Nosy.
They're nosy and noisy.
Noisy and they want their nose in everything of your business, right? Okay, next. Let's talk about educate and nonchalant mention. Okay, we talked about how anytime you want to show up and build a brand, or you want to sell a product, you want to recruit into your business, ultimately education marketing is what's really, really, really hot, right? Education-based marketing is so hot. Like, nobody needs to even turn it down. It's that hot, right? So how can we bring genuine value? And again, we hint on the fact that you have a business, that we have a service. So I use this example here. It is inside your PDF download, but here's what's interesting. I identified this a couple years ago, and then just did a little Googling. I was just curious, right? I was curious. And here's what I found, that if you have a nutritional product that you're marketing, right? Can you show up and do an educational video around that? Yes, you can. I call it your fishing pole, right? But you can also elevate yourself and say, okay, what do women on social media, like, what are they more attracted to? And I found that people, women specifically, we spend 3 times more money on products for the outside than the inside. Those are just the numbers. And I played with it. So that's why I started doing some of my famous makeup videos. I don't sell makeup, right? But I could show up and do a makeup video because I know my audience loves it. I love doing it. It's like a form of art creation. It gets me like creative, whatever, right? And I can do what I already love. So I'm showing up in my awesome energy. I'm naturally excited about the topic. And I can nonchalantly mention how, I take this one particular nutrition product and I notice changes in my skin, right? Or another example here is 3 best tips for gorgeous skin. And let's say 2 of those tips, you make generic value. So it has nothing to do with your business. And maybe tip number 3, you say something like, hey, I found when I started to really take care of myself from the inside out, it showed up to my skin. And if you want to know, okay, watch this CTA right here. This is so strategy. I love it, love it. If you want to know my favorite recommendations, send me a message. Or if you want to know my 3 best products that I use, send me a message. Does that make sense? Do you guys love that? Okay, here's a couple of examples from Casey and Kylie and Jody.
Yeah, so again, doing videos, value-based, one's 11 minutes, the other one's 9 minutes. It doesn't need to be a super long video. You're sharing tips.
Yeah.
You're inspiring people.
Love it.
You're helping them.
Yeah.
You're giving them ideas. And, obviously you're, like Nadia said, you're nonchalantly mentioning your stuff. You're connecting with them on the back end. So it's really effective. And, it's something that if you show up over a consistent period of time, you could become an expert inside of, a niche. You could become, someone that people share the content. They're telling their friends about it. And that's how you really start to build a following, right?
Yeah.
It's you're pouring into your small following now. You might say, well, I only have, 200 views, 100 views. I only get like 4 or 5 people in my lives. Great. We all start somewhere. And here's the thing. I said, embrace the suck. In the beginning, you're not going to have a lot of live viewers. Years down the road, you're going to be grateful for that. Because you're going to be like, I was a train wreck. Like I wasn't, you're going to be so impressed with how far you've come, but you're going to realize, thank God I didn't have a huge following back when I first started doing my videos.
And also, and here's also important to notice too, is with live videos, majority of your views are going to be replay views anyway, right? But you're going to do the live video because we know that's red carpet treatment. Yeah. We know our numbers. We know that if we show up live, we know people are going to watch 3 times longer, and then the algorithm is going to honor that better versus if you pre-record the video and you upload it. The one mission I subscribe to right now is I pre-record really cool videos. We're going to talk TikTok today. But those, when you upload, it's a different modality on Facebook, and you'll notice different traction with that. Okay, so you are going to get better. And you guys, write this one down. For those of you that struggle, okay, listen to me. If you struggle with showing up with value because you have loser thoughts in your mind, write this down. If I know just 1% more about XYZ, then people are going to look at me as an expert. You don't have to be in the top 1% of people to show up and give answers, right? It's about just you consistently showing up. Okay, scooching on over, you guys, direct post. Once a week, you can show up and do a direct promotion of your product or your business.
Yeah, like a really great example is, let's say you have a physical product and you want to give away that product, and you have your whole team promote for a live video. Maybe you do it Monday at 8 p.m. and your whole team promotes it. You give away a product to the people that stay till the end. And throughout that broadcast, you're giving testimonials and the benefits of your product without saying the name of the company, referring people back to the person that invited them on, and you're giving away the product at the end. Now, is it possible you mess up and you say the name of the product or your name? That's fine. In fact, it's hard to not say the name of the product. But do your best to try to avoid it and just more so talk about the benefits, giving some value, having some fun, and it's a giveaway. So someone can win a free product. Doesn't have to be something super expensive either. And, your whole team promotes for it. It can get a ton of engagement. You could do the 3DW, formula, right? The wow, the what videos, unboxing, right? You have a PDF on all that. And now let's get into
Ooh, okay. All right. The main attraction of these
as Tanya calls it, TikToking. Right? We're talking about TikTok.
Okay. So you guys, we talked about all of these gorgeous ideas, but so far we've demonstrated like a picture post, right? Or a live video. So what's really cool is you're going to follow the same principle. You're going to model the concept of like the gratitude results post or telling a story, but we're gonna now switch up the modality where we bring animation video to it. Okay, so let's give you a couple of really cool examples.
All right, so here's a pretty cool one. So this girl, it doesn't have.
No, it's right here. Look.
Yeah, but I wanted to see if it had. Okay, there's the engagement. So she had 62,000.
Tanya, if you want to put all three things on the slide.
She had over 500,000 views. Now, I want to say this. She is the demographic for TikTok, right? She's younger. She already had like several thousand followers, but the woman, her mom is a distributor, and she essentially got her daughter to do this before and after. Anyway, so it blew up. She got over 100 customers, 2,300 points in one day from a viral video. And look at 5,000 shares.
That's crazy.
In one day.
No, baby, right here. Look at that.
It's up to 8,900. Yeah, I was just reading the copy from that first day.
As of today.
So the point is, you can create TikToks promoting your products. Again, you're not going to do it all the time.
Yep.
In fact, you want to hardly ever do it because you don't want to come off as an infomercial. But Tiffany did a transformation video showing, what she looked like in the beginning. And I will say this on TikTok, you can be a little more aggressive, right?
Yeah.
They don't have all the hardcore algorithm. They have a good algorithm, but it's not like the hardcore, ghosting that you'll see on like a Facebook or an Instagram. But Tiffany is not doing this all the time. Amanda, she's actually up to almost 40,000 followers now.
Crazy.
So Amanda did the same thing. In fact, I think Amanda did this first, and then Tiffany kind of modeled that formula. But both of them absolutely blew up with these videos. You can see Amanda's transformation is insane. 52,000 hearts, 361 shares. She, again, lost a lot of weight and did a transformation. Now, some of you are going to say, well, we don't sell weight loss. But for those of you that do, you can see how powerful this is. And look, you're going to have to get creative. You sell other types of products, makeup, travel services. Just find other creative ways to use TikTok in this way.
Yeah.
But even if you don't do these types of transformation TikToks, TikTok is a great way to get attention.
Yeah.
It's a great way to build a whole new audience. And then you can drive people to your Instagram. You can drive them to your website, to your DM. You can connect with people on the back end. And keep in mind, half the users are over the age of 35.
Yeah, and
Half
we're
the
going to do,
users.
after lunch, we'll cycle back and really talk TikTok strategy. But let's give you a couple of more examples here on the next slide. I was playing with all kinds of different ideas, right? Essentially, how can you demonstrate your product, the benefits, also your lifestyle? It just gives you a really cool platform, you guys, where you can tap into like a hot trend or a hot song, or you're modeling somebody else's viral video, but you're putting your spin on it.
Right.
But notice what I'm selling in these 3 videos, right? So my big keywords are laughter, family, inspiration, lifestyle, right? Beauty hacks, business hacks. So how can you put just your goodness into short snippets of like 15 seconds, right? Okay.
Those of
15
you that
seconds.
are creative types, it's a phenomenal platform. You won't see me putting as much content on TikTok, but I do with Nadia.
Yeah.
And it's just, I'm telling you, man, it's a crazy fun platform. You can do things like we had a team mastermind, actually 2 different team mastermind. No, one's a company
OMG.
event.
Just we got together with the
second
team.
one is a team mastermind. You see the perfectionitis that comes out on her? You see what I'm saying? But the point is, you know, we have fun with it, and it's a great way to demonstrate other sides of the business, right? Like these are some of our leaders doing these dancing videos.
Yeah.
You can see Nadia sharing some of her favorite immune boosting products. The point is you play with it, you get creative.
Yeah.
And Nadia said it, you can use other trending songs and videos. This is one of the best platforms because you
To go
actually
viral.
don't have to be that creative. You can just copy someone else and put your own spin on it, do it your own way, and go viral with no following.
You guys, it's crazy. I mean, we've now seen it happen over and over and over again,
Yep.
where you come onto the platform, and here's what I really love about TikTok is their algorithm is artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
And what happens is when you start creating content on the platform, they're taking your content and they're putting it in front of your ideal people. And then if you have, like, what other platform can you now show up on and get the chance to go viral? Like
It really is
Facebook,
crazy. Yeah.
Instagram, you're posting content, but only the people that subscribe to see your stuff can see your stuff, right?
And
But
here's
with
the
TikTok-
other thing. You can take those videos
Yeah.
and use them elsewhere. So
Right.
Nadia is amazing at this. She'll make a TikTok, and whether it does well on TikTok or not, it doesn't matter. She's then using it for content,
Yeah.
for Instagram, for
For
Facebook,
Facebook.
for
Right.
stories, for Facebook or Instagram stories.
Anyways, we're gonna dive into
It's
it
cool. It's
in
really
the
cool.
next session. Stay tuned. If you know nothing about it, do not stress yourself out. Stress causes wrinkles.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back and dissect.
And people
All right.
are gonna be like, man, this is what you guys do?
Yeah.
Like, look how much fun you guys
For
have.
sure.
Like, I want to be in a business where I get to have fun,
Yeah.
right? I want to do something that's just not stiff and salesy and you know,
Okay. Pro
boring.
tip, host watch parties. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. Here's what's really, really cool about doing watch parties is you can now leverage video content from your upline or sideline, whoever's really good, right, at your business. And then you could essentially host like a little movie night, right, on your wall, and then you keep your comments on your wall, and you're basically watching a video with your people
Right.
on your wall. So here's a couple of different examples here where, you know, we wanted to demonstrate again, it's in your PDF download. So it's a cool strategy to play with. Again, different modality for you, different modality.
Right.
How do you host a watch
Can
party?
I just say one thing real
Can I
quick?
just finish my sentence? Yes, thank you, John. Okay, how do you do it real quick? So you just go like you're gonna create a regular post, right? And you click on watch party, and then you select a video that you wanna watch together with your people. Yes, please, John.
So the one video that I wanted to point out as an example, I was interviewing a leader on the team.
Okay.
So other leaders that were within her organization were doing that interview that I was doing on my page. So instead of them just sharing it on their wall, they made it a watch party, so it showed up as a live video on all of these leaders' walls. You see the difference? So instead of just sharing it onto your wall, you're doing it as a watch party. So
Cool.
It's a really neat thing that a lot of you could do when there's a broadcast that maybe is a giveaway or something it's got to be public.
Yeah.
You should mention that.
Yeah.
It's got to be public,
Okay.
but it's a great way for you to broadcast something that people can show up as if it's a live video on your wall, even if it's happening elsewhere publicly.
Baby, question for you. Nicole says, should we use watch parties if our company / upline says the name of the company? What are your thoughts about that?
You could. I don't recommend that often. But if it's like a really special thing, it's something that happens once in a while. I don't think it's the worst idea, but typically for stuff like that, I would rather do personal invites and get people on the actual live, because it is maybe on the company branded page, right? So I know companies do that. Our company does that too. I don't typically recommend those for watch parties, but if it's like a big product launch or something that maybe is a little more subtle, you could probably do it. So,
Okay.
And I also saw somebody say, is anyone getting customers? Yeah, I don't know if you heard us mention that, but the one woman got like 100 customers in 24 hours of that lip plumping product, and both of the weight loss
Amanda got
transformations.
20,
Yeah.
is it 20 customers?
20 customers.
Last time we checked
Tiffany
with her.
got 60 direct messages. Tiffany has the biggest customer base in our entire organization right now. So yeah, she's doing well.
She's crushing
But
it.
again, I want you to keep in mind, be very clear about this. If you do a TikTok, even if it gets crickets on TikTok, you can then take that exact same video
Yeah,
and share it in your story. Share it on
Catch
Facebook,
that?
share it on Instagram, the exact same video. So
Right.
it's not like, oh, it didn't do well on TikTok. What a waste of, you can use that elsewhere.
yeah.
So
I love that. Yeah. No, and I found it's interesting because I've been playing with TikTok now for
6 months
6 months.
since last.
And
fall.
yeah, I've had a couple of videos go viral, so I've had a couple of videos go viral. What's really cool about
Not the
TikTok,
videos you would have preferred, but
sure,
it does happen.
yeah,
It's random.
it's very random. It's really interesting. I find, to me, you guys, marketing, science, and then art. And I just think that if we continue to show up and just get inspired by this different modality of communicating, it's so powerful. But I now have videos where they do really well on TikTok, but they're not that well received on Instagram and Facebook, and then vice versa, right? But it's just a cool way for you to tell your story in a different way, like just more animation, right?
Yeah.
More animation.
And I said this yesterday, I want to say it again, because we'll do a little Q&A here. We're pretty much
Okay.
wrapping up. And Gary Vee's the best of this, because Gary Vee's been promoting TikTok forever. Shalene was promoting it.
Yeah.
What would we say? I don't want to dance. It's
Right.
for kids.
Yeah.
And then you'd hear Shalene and Gary overcome those silly objections.
Sure.
Because, by the way, every platform, guess what? Except for LinkedIn, probably.
Yeah.
But every other one, it was probably still a young guy that started it. But every other platform was started by kids, by young
Right.
people. Snapchat, Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah.
So the whole like, oh, it's for kids, silly objection.
Mm.
And the whole, it's only dancing videos. Really? Have you actually gone on to TikTok?
Yeah.
Because I see some dancing videos, yeah. But there's also a lot of comedy, marketing, like business tips and hacks. It also depends on who you follow. It depends on what you're engaging with. They base what you're seeing based on what they think you're interested in.
Yeah.
I also want to pump the brakes for a second and say
Okay.
this.
Pump it.
Don't overwhelm yourself thinking, OMG, I'm just starting to learn from these guys about Facebook, and now I got to go learn TikTok. No, you don't have to. This is just an idea. It's just some of these ideas from this weekend are not for you right now, but maybe down the road,
Yeah.
right? Everybody's in different places. Remember, there's 6- and 7-figure earners in this boot camp,
Yeah.
and there's people that have never done any social marketing. We have to cater this to when we listen to the
We're going to
information,
meet you where you're at.
yeah, we have to cater this to everyone, but understanding just this is a really neat new upcoming platform. And I said it yesterday, and I'll reiterate, you can either be the best or you can be one of the first. And right now, 97% of marketers are not using TikTok.
Yeah.
When we went to the social media marketing world,
Yeah.
the number one biggest session, it had nothing to do with the speaker.
Last
It was
month.
the
This was
topic.
last month.
Last month. Yeah, exactly. Very recent.
Yeah.
There were so many marketing sessions, all these breakout sessions, all these experts, Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, Facebook ads, YouTube, everything, you name it. By far, the biggest draw, by far, it was like more than quadruple
Mhm.
every other, except for the keynote sessions.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Was TikTok, the TikTok session. All right. So I can just tell you, it is an up and coming platform. And here's the thing that Gary said that stuck with me. He goes, some of you are saying, well, what if TikTok doesn't last? He goes, those same people made the same excuse to me about Snapchat. Like, oh, Snapchat's not going to last. And some of you are coming back to me going, see, I told you. Like, really? Snapchat didn't last? Yeah, but storytelling is kind of a big deal now. who do you think is crushing it right now with Instagram and Facebook stories, or at least when it first came out?
Yeah.
People that were already crushing stories
Storytelling with
on
stories.
Snapchat.
Right.
So the point of because maybe some of you didn't know that Instagram, Facebook story, the story you see, right? Sometimes it's confusing because they're called stories, but it's the little like 24-hour, the little bubble you see where it's like you're only seeing what people are posting for 24 hours. They didn't come up with that. That's a Snapchat thing.
Yeah.
Snapchat has been
Even YouTube
far,
has stories now.
Right. They were by far the first one. They were the only one. And Facebook tried to buy them.
Right.
And they said no. So they were like, fine, we'll create our own.
Right.
Why do I point this out?
Okay.
The same thing is happening right now with TikTok.
Amen.
Okay. If Facebook and Instagram can't buy TikTok, they'll just come out with their own version of it.
Mm-hmm.
Does this make sense?
Well, Instagram is
That
already in the
form,
works
right.
of creating that sort of modality where
Right.
you can shoot those types of videos. So yes,
that form of
we know it works.
that form.
We love it. I'm sorry, I just wanted to mess with you. All right, you guys, are you getting value? Listen, it doesn't matter how slow you go,
You
as
still didn't let me say
long
my thing.
as you don't stop it.
That
Go
form
ahead.
of communication is here
To
forever.
stay.
It ain't going anywhere. So even if you don't like TikTok, just know that form of communication is going to be around long term, just like stories will be. Okay, so let's try to get some questions and we'll wrap it up. It's supposed to be done by 1.
Okay, let's wrap it up,
I
baby.
tried so hard.
You have so many ideas to share.
So do you.
Oh, Tanya is on. Hi, Tanya.
Guys crack me up.
Were there any specific questions that the
I think
team?
we got it.
Is there anything that any of you saw that we missed? And look, if we missed your question, just ask it again, but hurry up.
Yeah, but we also have a graphic, you guys. Let me point this out. It's a beautiful opportunity for us to do that now. In the announcements, you'll see we have a theme graphic for day 2
Yeah.
Q&A. Can you please do us all a favor? Because we don't want to miss it, right? Can you drop your questions below that theme graphic? Now, I do want to say we're going to cycle back after lunch, and we're going to do
Right.
essentially part 2. We're going to
I think
elevate
we're
more
good. Yeah.
so we can, handle maybe some things that we didn't cover. All right,
And
Tanya.
can you just say the point of the Q&A is so that our team can respond to the questions they can answer,
Yes.
and then questions that maybe are great questions that they're not sure of, they either come to us or we will do.
And we're also curating
Right,
them
exactly.
into one main master
Exactly.
Q&A document. So that way we'll have all the things inside the one document for easy reference. Okay, beautiful. Thank you, baby. Tanya.
I love it. All right, you guys, we've had some people asking and sending us some messages on how to get the recordings. So before we break for lunch, I want to give you guys a couple of announcements, and then we're going to give your implementation homework over lunch. All right, so basically what we want to do, just give me one moment to get set up here. Okay. So I want to give you guys, it should be posted in the announcements, all right? But just in case, if you guys don't have the recordings and you do want to get the recordings and get lifetime access, you just bought the live stream ticket, but you want a copy of these in a members area, we'll put that together for you. We are going to keep the early bird pricing, so weekend special that we have with our Done is called our Done for You ATM group. socialmarketinglive.com/ATM. When you purchase that, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get a 20-minute video from me walking you through getting us and our implementation team the proper information. Then we're going to communicate with you through Messenger and get advise you on the best content to put where in your group, and we're going to set up all of the entire group for you and help you navigate where we put things and how to use it. That's kind of the best explanation that I can give you. We're going to model everything that we do in our ATM group over into your own ATM group. We also had some people ask, well, what if we have our own ATM group already, but we just don't, nothing's happening in it and it's not working the way that we want it to. So if you purchase the weekend special of the ATM group and already have one, we're going to do a revamp of it with you and a consult with you and a strategy session with you to make sure that we kind of redesign it the way that we know works. And we might have to switch up some things. Really, the biggest thing is, like, what do we put in the announcement post? What do we do in the unit section? How do we create that social group? We're going to be advising you and working with you and implementing with you, getting that done. So that's really how that works. And if you guys have any specific questions on that, then just let us know. And then after today, like at midnight today, we are no longer going to have that done for you option available. We're going to close it out. It's only available for this weekend if you want us to build it out, because really we only have so much man and woman power assigned to doing these for you guys. And we have hundreds of people that are going to see this offer. And so we just need to mediate and navigate that effectively. And it's not really something that we offer anywhere else. It's not something that you can buy anywhere else. It's quite frankly not something that we want to do for everybody. But since we're talking about it here, it's very valuable based on last year, the feedback, questions, and everything that we got. We had so many people ask for it that we thought, hey, it's a great option for you guys. And so, yeah, that's that. And if you have any specific questions on how that works, if you're thinking about purchasing that from us and having us do all that for you, then just leave it in the Q&A section in the announcement post of the group, and then we'll look there and we'll make sure that if we need to personally reach out to you and get more of your questions answered on that, we will do that, because we want to make sure that you're set up properly. That's all, right? And you have confidence in that. And so our activity section, do you guys want to go over that? Activity implementation, activity for lunch. Nadia, do you want to go over that?
I do. Great question. Thank you so much. So implementation for you. So here's what I want you to identify. What was your number one takeaway from today's session? This session just now, when we talked about curiosity, we talked about, your value post, what jumped at you, and I want you to implement on that. So when we come back after lunch, I'd love to see your biggest takeaway, and then you instantly integrate. That's what I found for me, you guys. It is my number one way to manage overwhelm, right? Because we gave you a lot between Tanya's session on branding, then between the curiosity posting and all kinds of posting, there's a lot brewing there. The best way to go ahead and manage that is ask yourself, what was my biggest takeaway from this session? And then you instantly go ahead and you implement. So whether you download TikTok, maybe you go, wow, TikTok is definitely, I have the bandwidth right now to master that particular platform, go ahead and download it. Or was your big takeaway on a specific curiosity post example? Maybe you want to do a post example with the conversation starter. We gave you a couple of those different examples there, right? So pick out your big aha moment and go ahead and go integrate. And when you come back after lunch, we're going to have a theme post, and we'd love for you to share that.
Yes. Okay, perfect. I love that. Tessa asked a really good question. She said, can I buy the recordings after today? So we have a weekend special of $100 if you want to upgrade to get lifetime recording. What we typically do is we take the recordings and we update our course that we have that's out there, and we sell that course for $397 minimum. So you can, if we launch it as a course later, but it will be much more expensive. So if you want the recordings like everybody else will have maybe access to later, then we kind of sit down after our social marketing recruiting bootcamp live, and we strategize what we're going to do with this. We're going to update our course or whatever. But for that $100 upgrade price, that will be gone after tonight at midnight. So just make sure to, if you want them, get them, because it'll save you some money. So I hope that answers that question. And I'm excited for after lunch. Let's go get nourished and hydrated and caffeinated for our afternoon session. We will be back at 2 o'clock